Two runners on base. Pavin Parks now the batter. Down and away to L.J. Jones, who's the batter, actually. Excuse me. Count a ball and a strike. If you're just joining us on the Otters Digital Network, thank you so much. Sorry, technical difficulties we've been having the past couple of days. 1-0 Otters, though, top one. Still nobody out. Two runners on base. The 1-1 pitch. Swung out right back into the netting. Counting 1-2. So a ball, two strikes, nobody out. The next pitch to LJ. Swung on, lifted in the air, first base side, twisting and get out of into the first base seats. LJ Jones battling here to start. A ball, two strikes. Here it is. Swung on, line drive, base hit center field. They're going to hold the runner at third. Station to station they go. And three straight singles for the Otters. Bases loaded now for T. Benson. J.T. Benson has had himself quite a week. 2 RBI triple in the eighth last night. Now with a big chance to bust it open early for Evansville. The first pitch. Swung on and missed on the fastball down and away 0-1. Definitely seems like Evansville is hunting that fastball. See if Gamelin goes off of it here with a 0-1 count to Benson. The pitch. That one's high and above the letters, 1-1. Boy, this would feel good for Evansville. They have struggled so much early in games recently. They did score two early in the game against Schaumburg, but couldn't quite take advantage. The 1-1 just misses. Probably low, I guess. 2-1. The thing is that hopefully they break out of. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Benson the batter. Bases loaded. Top one, 1-0 already. Evansville in front. The pitch. Up and in. Had him bending back. Now 3 balls, 1 strike. Nowhere to put him. The 3-1. Swung on and missed on the fastball at 94. Gamelin reared back and really put some extra juice on that one. Count is now full. Andy wants to come over and have a bit of a talk with JT. So count is full. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Jones at first, Parks at second, Brown at third. 1 all home here in this top half of the first. The 3-2. Swung back our first overhead foul ball of the night. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. And 2 still sets. Awaiting the first pitch. Swung on, line drive right at Reeves. He'll make the catch. Home to score in Brown in a 2-0 on a sac fly from J. So another RBI for Benson. And it's 2-0 Evansville here in the top half of the first. Brings up J.J. Cruz. Cruz has not had a perfect series by any means, but he has been effective. He had an RBI last night in the 8th. Pitch. Down and in for a ball, 1-0. Benson, left-handed hitter. Only 3 left-handed hitters in this lineup for Andy McCauley here tonight. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, banged off his own foot. He'll take time. Count 1-1. So the first 5 Otters that come to the plate have all been effective. Crittenberger with a walk eventually. Graham Brown then a single. Pavin Parks followed with an RBI single. L.J. Jones singled up the middle to load the bases. Benson sac fly to score Graham Brown. 1 ball, 1 out. Throw back to first. Gets into center field. This is going to allow Pavin Parks to get to third base on the pickoff attempt to second. L.J. Jones also getting a base up to second, and now 2 runners in scoring position for J.J. Cruz. It's going to be an error on Gamelin. The 1-1 now to Cruz. Swung on, little number to short. Back into play by Nieves. Throw to first is in there. Never mind, he was off the bat. Zeisler wasn't there. The run does come home. 3-0 Evansville. The throw was in time. Zeisler just off the bag. And that brings home a run. And here comes pitching coach to try and calm this one down. So 2 straight errors led to now a run, and it's 3-0 Evansville. Still only 1 out here in this inning, and that was a productive one via a J.T. Benson sacrifice fly. So now the batter's Keenan Taylor, DH tonight. 296 his average, 844 the OPS. He's homered twice already this year. And the first pitch to him is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Keenan's had him some key moments this year already. The 1-0 just catches the zone at the knees. Count 1-1. Clear, bright blue skies here in Florence for this 6:40 Eastern start, 5:40 back home. 1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Took a real big hack at that fastball. Counting 1-2. So Gamelin set. Looks into Richardson. Hands now waist high. Out of the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Brings up Justin Felix. Fans just won some beer on that one as well. So Justin Felix stands in. He had a sacrifice bunt that eventually led to a run last night. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed on the fast one, 0-1. He struggled at the dish so far this year, batting 133. He has doubled twice. It is 3-0 Evansville here in the top half of the first. The pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Otters jumping out in. Gamelin trying to get out of it without any more damage done. The 0-2. Swung on, fouled back into the screen. We're going to stay right there. New pitch. Both runners go. That one's popped foul and out of play just behind the press box. So Felix stands back in. Gamelin sets. Trying to get out of it. The 0-2 once again. Far and away outside, 1-2. So now a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. 2 runners on base. Cruz at first, Jones. The pitch. Up high, almost got to the backstop, but a nice stop by Richardson. A pretty good at bat. It's 2 strikes, 2 out of 1. Florence. Tonight. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Gamelin with 2 strikes taking, but the 3-0 after 3 hits, but they do leave runners on. On here for the Otters is the ace of the half this year. He has not gotten a decision. 4.60 his ERA, 15 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's walked 10, struck out 17. But he will Mets, which is odd to see when you have a left-handed pitcher on the mound. The first 3 that he will face in Hector Nieves, Craig Massey, and Hank Zeisler, all left-handed hitters. I think that says more about what manager Rhodes thinks about those hitters than it does about Braden Scott. Brennan Bobo, who's batting 6th, and Josh Elver, who's batting 8th, also left-handed hitters. First pitch here to Nieves. Catches the inner half of the plate for a strike, 0-1. We haven't seen Braden Scott in full form as of yet. Definitely still working out some kinks in the early part of the year, the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, laced foul down the left field line, 0-2. But hopefully he'll be able to reel things in. You know, he as Scott out of the windup. Steps back, kicks, fires. Inside, just missing 1-2. Then again, with this lineup, we saw it against Montova, loading up on left-handed hitting. 1-2 pitch. Thought about it, didn't go around on the outside slider. 2-2. Braden Scott, high 80s. Live there. The Swung on him, shot foul, 2-2. And after that great start from Evansville with your ace on the bump, definitely gives a lot of confidence. 3-0 Otters here in the top half of the first. The pitch. Inside, got him on the elbow, and that's going to be a free base for Hector Nieves. So Nieves stand on first via the hit by pitch, and it brings up Craig Massey. Massey with a real nice day last night. He went 2 for 3. He walked twice and singled twice as well, one of the infield variety. First pitch, up and in. Count 1-0. So a ball, no strikes, no outs. The next one, in there for a strike, 1-1. Florence, they've sent a couple already into the minor league ranks this year, as got the 1-1 offering. Swung on, chopped high to the middle, and charging as Cruz. Fields throws, not in time. So an infield single for Craig Massey, his second of the weekend already. And now it's Hank Zeisler. Dalton Davis today was announced to go to the Seattle Mariners. We did not get the chance to see him yesterday as they were finalizing that. As well as Blaze O'Sabin just earlier this week being sent off to the Minnesota Twins. Hank Zeisler will now be the batter. And the first pitch to him is inside. Oh, and that got the umpire right in the side. Ball gets away, which means both runners are going to advance. So home plate umpire Chris Fackler really felt that one. He's doubled over right now behind home plate. And on that, Nieves and Massey both advance. So not something you see often, and not something, if you're Evansville, that you're too excited about. Spackler is up. Looks like he will be all right. He'll get a sip of water real quick. The count will be, I believe, 1 ball, no strikes to Hank Zeisler. Now Braden Scott all of a sudden has to work with 2 runners in scoring position. Nobody out here in this bottom half of the first inning. So Scott looks into Felix and sets. Out of the stretch he works. The pitch just misses outside, 2-0. Evansville in the blue jerseys once again. Gray pants, blue and gray hat. As Scott sets on the far third base side and delivers the 2-0. Inside, 3-0. Y'alls in their home whites, baby blue pinstripes, red lettering with that blue trim. So 3 balls, no strikes, no outs. And the next pitch to Zeisler. That one's called a strike on the half on the fastball, 3-1. So Florence in a very similar position now as the Otters were in the top half of this inning. The next one bounced up the middle. Camus fields, throws over to first in time for the out, but the run in Nieves does score. Zeisler doing his job, but a big first out for Braden Scott. TJ Reeves now batting. Reeves homered in yesterday's contest. 3-1 the score now. The first pitch to him is swung on and fouled off. And a wind gust just blew my pin away. Oh, found it. There we go. So no balls, one strike. Scott, the pitch. Binder just misses on the down and in corner, 1-1. So good amount of scoring here in this first inning already. Scott sets and deals. Swung on, fouled right back into the netting, 1-2. Reeves got a just high fastball last night and did not miss it. Put it into the left field parking lot to jump the Yalls out in front in that first inning. He's in the hole now, 1-2. Pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Good battle here. Mentioned the Florence players advancing into the minor leagues. Braden Scott was in a very similar position a couple of years ago. He was picked up from Evansville to the Toronto Blue Jays organization. Scott eventually making his way back here in Evansville after about a year and a half in the Blue Jays minor league system. The 1-2, high, 2-2. Made it as high as Double A did Braden Scott, but walk issues plagued him in his time in affiliate ball, and now, once again, the ace of this Otters staff. 2 balls, 2 strikes, just one away here in the bottom half of the first. Runner on third base. The pitch. Swung on, a slow chopper to first. Jones fields and will step on the bag himself for the out. Runner does score in Massey. So 2 straight RBI groundouts. And the Otters lead all of a sudden is down to 1. And they're going to bring out the trainer to come and look at Braden Scott. Oh, no. So pitching coach Max Peterson must have seen something, as now Braden Scott is doubled over, hands on his knees. And boy, this would not be good for Evansville. He's up on his feet now. See what happens here. And they're working currently on his left throwing shoulder, and he will try and toss one out, it seems like. He'll throw a pitch to Justin Felix. A quick nod, and he's ready to go. Thank goodness. Oh, man. Boy, is that scary to see. Your ace, you've already been plagued with injuries this year, and he will stay into this ball game. Thankfully, bases are empty, and the Otters still lead at 3-2. Zayda Richardson now the batter. 283 his batting average. OPS up at 800 exactly the first pitch. Swung on, fouled back. 0-1. OPS, a mixture of your on-base percentage and slugging percentage. Just take those two numbers, add them together. Anything, really, I would say at 750 and above is excellent. So you get in the 800 range is the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed on the curve, 0-2. But you get into the 800 range, That's elite. There's a couple of Evansville guys up there. It's Graham Brown at 934, Benson at 1,081, Keenan Taylor at 844. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, jam shot grounder to third. Toss over to first from Parks to Jones is in time for out number 3. So the Florence Yalls get 2 back, but the Otters still in the lead. We now go to the top half of the second, 3-2 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR. Back here on the Otters Digital Network, 96.9 WIR, and the Home Team Network. In case you don't know, the Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game in 2025. Richardson, the battery mate for Sean Gamelin. The pitcher-catcher battery each night is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000 for details. Alay Camus to lead us off here in this top half of the second. Otters with a quick start in the first. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Yalls fight back and get 2, but the Otters still with by 1. It is 3-2. Evansville in front as the first pitch to Camus is taken on the inner half. That one looked like the changeup 0-1. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight and on a beautiful night for baseball here in Florence. The 0-1 pitch from Gamelin as he kicks and fires. Swung on, grounded to first, stopped by Zeisler. He will take it to the bag himself for the out. I'm Riley Angel here with you. Evansville trying to snap this 7-game road losing streak that they've been on to begin this year. But looking really good tonight thus far as Ty Krittenberger stands in. He led off this game with a walk and eventually came around to score. And the first pitch to him. Squares around a bunt, but pulls it back quickly and count 1-0. Now Smith over at third will play a little more shallow in his position. Just about a foot away from that infield grass. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed on the change, 1-1. Krittenberger manning left field tonight. As the 1-1 is on its way. And it's outside, 2-1. Didn't hear last night. 325 down the lines here in Florence. Way smaller than where we've been playing at Schaumburg, the 2-1 pitch. Swung on high, fly ball to right, not deep. Medium deep as the wind keeps pushing it back. Now at the warning track and dropping the ball is Bobo. Krittenberger is going to get into second base. That ball got up into the wind and just kept on carrying. They're going to call an error on Bobo. Off the bat, that looked like a routine fly ball. And just kept on going and going and up against the wall. Bobo just couldn't make the catch. Good news for the Otters is they have a runner with scoring position and nobody out for Graham Brown. So that's something to watch. Anything put in the air right has a chance. So first pitch now to Graham Brown from game 1. Swung on, fouled back, 0-1. Graham Brown was 0 for 3 heading into the 8th yesterday, but got 2 hits in 2 straight innings and finished the day 2 for 5. The 0-1. Swung on, line drive to right, fairly deep. Back on it is Bobo, leaps, and it is out of here. Graham Brown with a 2-run shot to the opposite way. 5-2, Otters in front. Brendan Bobo almost bringing it back. A slight pause to see if it was out. And that's Graham Brown's 4th homer of the year. That one of the 2-run variety. And it's a 3-run Otters lead. On another day, that one is caught at the wall. Now the first pitch to Parks. In there for a strike, 0-1. So the Otters with a 5 spot through the first 2 innings. Here in this one, there's still only 1 away. Excuse me, there's nobody out here in this. No, there is just 1 away here in this top half of the second. Swung on, tapped foul by 2. Couldn't have asked for a better start after last night's contest. Parks awaits the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded hard, but fouled down the first base line. Count stays at 0-2. So Brown already today, 2 for 2 with a 2-run homer. Not bad through the first 2 innings, I would say. 5-2, Otters in front. Top half of the second, the pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit left field. Misplaying it out there is Elver, but that won't affect where Parks ends up. He's still at first. So Pavin Parks with a quick 2 for 2 start. Now LJ Jones. LJ singled in the first as well. Already 5 hits for Evansville. Here in this one, the first pitch here to LJ is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. LJ has spent most of the years the 3-hole hitter, has hit cleanup and 5th in spots as the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, high pop-up right behind home plate, getting towards the stands and takes a hard bounce up and over the press box. So count 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Swung on, ground ball foul down the third base side and near the Florence bullpen seating area. Three runs in the first, 2 so far here in the second. Gamelin looks in. He's had a tough go of it through this first 1 1/3. The pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to center field. Back on it, Reeves. Medium deep. Now backpedaling, makes the catch for the out. Brings up JT Benson. Even now, it seemed snuck up on Reeves towards the tail end of it. And he had a couple of quick back steps. Now you start to think, how much is the wind affecting balls to center field? JT Benson with a sac fly back in the first inning. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed. 0-1. So a 3-run first and a 2-run blast from Graham Brown here in the second. And it's 5-2, Otters in front. Here through the first inning and a half. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gamelin sets out of the stretch. He fires the 0-2. Down and in the dirt. Nice block by Richardson. Count 1-2. Pavin Parks at first does have 5 stolen bases on the year, but since the beginning of the season has not stolen as much. I doubt he goes here with the offensive success so far, and don't want to run yourself into an out with one of your best hitters at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, high pop up, but that's going to get foul into the first base seating area. So we'll do it again at 1-2. 5-2 Evansville, top half of 2. Benson is ready on the right-handed side. Gamelin looks in and fires. Called strike 3 on the inner half, and JT Benson doesn't like it. Have a quick conversation with Fackler at the plate and head back to the dugout. So we now go to the bottom half of the second. 5-2 Evansville in front. You're listening on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network. Here in the bottom half of the second inning, Evansville up 5-2 over Florence after 2 quick innings of offense for the Otters. It's 5-2. Braden Scott back on the mound. The left-hander had an injury scare in that first inning, but said he was fine, and he is right back out there. He will face Brendan Bobo, Armani Smith, and Josh Elver. The 3 due up. 2 lefties coming up. Bobo this year, 211 his average. The first pitch to him is taken in there for a strike on the fastball, 0-1. He has struggled. He's walked 6 times, does have 3 doubles. As the 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The pitch. Swung on, fouled right near the third base dugout, but the protective netting protected that dugout as it's supposed to do. Bobo now awaits the 0-2. Here it is. Swung on, softly chopped to first base and foul. Count stays. With the bit of an earlier start, shadows won't come into effect, at least not on the mound, for quite some time as the 0-2 pitch Swung on and fouled back. Pretty much hit him. Must have gotten the knob. Count stays at 0-2. It's an interesting swing there from Bobo. Seemed like a protection swing more than anything. Protect himself from harm. The 0-2. Just missed outside on the curve. 1-2. Florence, pretty much the opposite end of the spectrum as what Evansville is on, as the 1-2 pitch. Checked his swing, did not go around, says Alex Lowry over at third base, 2-2. Florence has won 3 straight. Won the series opener here, the last 2 against Gateway. Feeling really good about themselves coming into this one as 2-2 pitch here from Braden Scott. As the lefty kicks and fires. High, 3-2. Evansville scratching and clawing for a win here tonight. Much needed one. The 3-2. Swung on, softly tapped back to Scott, who underhand tosses it to Jones for the out. 1 away. Evansville with a good start, trying to break that trend. Don't think you could really ask for much more. So Armani Smith stands in. Smith this year has been stellar as the first pitch to him is taken on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. The right-hander's batting .360, OPS at 1,027. He's homered twice, doubled 4 times, driven in 8. The 0-1. Swung on, banged to third, fielded by Parks, throw to first. A little wide, but on the bag is Jones in time for the second out. Parks just about sent L.J. Jones off of the bag, but still able to get it. As here comes Josh Elver. First pitch to the left fielder is right in there, 0-1. Scott looks like tonight sitting around 87, 88 on the fastball, has dipped down to 86. As long as it's effective, the 0-1. Swung on and fouled right back onto the catcher Felix Moy. He's had a rough couple days but back there. Home plate umpire Chris Fackler will give him time. Seen a lot of that these past 2 days. Last night, Michael Moniz had a very similar ball that struck him. He had the trainer come out and check on him. He was eventually all right. And now Justin Felix all good as well, it seems. And the 0-2. Swung on, little flare to second. It sneaks through for a hit. That's going to roll all the way near the wall. Taking the round at first, heading for second is Elver. He's going to get there standing for a 2-out double. It's about as softly hit of a double as you can get. Placed it perfectly just past Cruz, right in between Benton and Brown in right center. Brings up Eddie Javier Jr. Javier Jr. with a real nice leaping grab last night at second, but with the bat couldn't do much as he went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and 2 groundouts. First pitch to Javier. Swung on and missed on the high cheddar, 0-1. Javier, very odd stat line. 158 is what he's batting, but he's homered 3 times. 9 ribbies total. The 0-1 pitch. Up and away, 1-1. 3 of his 4 extra base hits have been homers. So you give this guy a cookie and he'll deposit it. But we'll see how Scott attacks him. The 1-1 to Javier. Swung on and missed on the curve, 1-2. Curve seems to have some nice bite on it tonight for Scott. It's a very friendly weapon whenever he has it in the bag. Scott sets. Scott delivers the 1-2. Outside and into the left-handed hitting batter's box. A new baseball for Scott. Count 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The wind once again picking up. Swirling up in the air, but seeming to go straight out to right is what the flag indicates. The 2-2. Up high, way high, 3-2. Good thing about wind here in stadiums like here in Florence, like back home in Posse, is the grandstands don't get high enough like in Major League parks where the wind swirls in the air. Makes it deceiving. The 3-2. Just outside, ball 4. First a walk given up by Braden Scott. He did hit a batter back in the first, but doesn't necessarily count as a walk. As now, here's that batter he hit, Hector Nieves. Nieves, 8 ribbies this year, his 9th, standing 180 feet away at second base. Lefty on lefty. Nieves, a wide open batting stance. First pitch. Front door breaker just catches the corner, 0-1. So no balls, a strike, 2 outs. Scott trying to get out of this one, stranding 2 runners after getting the first 2 outs fairly quickly. Then a double and a walk later, he's in some trouble. The 0-1. Tried it again, that one just missing inside, 1-1. Scott shakes once, now nods. Sets, hands belt high, fires. That one catches his own at the knees, I guess. 1-2. One and two. Here it is. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with the fastball. First German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. So we go to the 3rd inning. Otters still in front 5-2 here on the Otters Digital Network and 96.9 WYIR. Time for the 3rd. 5-2 Otters here so far in this one. See how they do. Here once again, here in this 3rd inning, it'll be J.J. Cruz, Keenan Taylor, Justin Felix, the 3 due up. J.J. Cruz batting .265, that OPS down at .654. He's doubled 3 times this year, 6 ribbies for him. He's 0 for 1 today. He reached on an error back in the first inning, the first pitch. Swung on, looked like a broken bat there, but yep, he's going to go get himself a new piece of lumber. That one was fouled off, 0-1. Got jammed on an up and in fastball, broke the bat. Just a small crack. Gets a new one, and he'll step right back in the left-handed side. So no balls, a strike, no outs. 3-run lead for Evansville, 5-2. Gamelin out of the windup, the 0-1. Up and away for a ball, 1-0. Excuse me, 1-1. Where am I tonight? Gamelin quickly into the wind again, the 1-1. Swung on a high pop, twisting foul and out of play down the third base side. Near the concession stand, even. Watch out, everyone getting that pulled pork sandwich. Made the poor decision of not eating dinner before this one. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball, diving stop by Zeisler. Tossed to first, sliding in as Cruz got him by about a centimeter. Zeisler, a diving stop, ranging himself towards second base. Over at first, and we're going to have a 3-1 put out there. That's where the PFPs come in handy. They were working on the PFPs before batting practice, the Ols were. Earlier today, as here's Keenan Taylor in the first pitch. Swung on, fouled right back, 0-1. So I guess it came in handy there. It's not very often you see, especially in the middle of the season, pro ball players working on PFPs and runner situations, but a little bit of a change of pace here in Florence. 0-1 pitch. Just misses inside for a ball, 1-1. Count even at 1 apiece. Here it is. Outside, 2-1. Evansville took batting practice normally, the way they normally did it. And again, balls hit out to right field just seemed to fly out of here. The 2-1 pitch. Down in the dirt. 3-1. And with the power Keenan has, put one the opposite way is out there in right bubble playing way deep. Might have a chance. The 3-1. Swung on, ground ball, base hit, third base side. It's going to scoot all the way to the wall. Karam's into left center field. And Keenan Taylor falls on the round and has to go back to first. Oh boy. Keenan Taylor on the round to go to second. Ate it. Helmet comes flying off along with his elbow guard as he falls down. And I think he was going to try and get 2, but he'll settle for a single as Justin Felix is now the batter. And Taylor's going to take some time, walk it off down the first baseline. Again, he did not hit the ground softly, and this artificial turf a little softer than a natural surface, but still not something you want to go full speed into. Especially the way Keenan plays, hustle first guy. Talks so much about his approach at the plate, but getting down the line, going base to base, he is all hustle. As now the first pitch to Justin Felix is down in for a ball, 1-0. So Evansville already with 6 hits here tonight. They had 2 going into the 8th inning yesterday. The 1-0 inside, 2-0. So I think you could say this is a marginally better start for the Otters. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, line drive, foul down the third base side. With the way that wall jets out there, about midway into left, really, I feel like Elver, who's out in left field, might have to start playing balls down the line like that, just toward to left center. We saw that once last night, and now here tonight. The 2-1. Runner goes. Taken for a strike. Throw down is in time. Keenan didn't get a great jump, and seemed like he lost some momentum on that slide. And just like that, there's 2 away. Otters have gotten caught stealing a lot this road trip. As Gamelin, the 2-2, swung on and missed. Strike 3 ends the inning. So an interesting 1-2-3 inning for Gamelin, but a 1-2-3 nonetheless. We now go to the bottom half of the third. 5 for the Otters, 2 for Florence. Here on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR. Time here for the bottom half of the third inning. Braden Scott worked himself out of the jam, a 2-out jam in the second. Through some trouble in the first, and we'll see how he does here in this third frame of work. Braden Scott, left-handed pitcher, and hopefully he's ready to go here. He will face the middle of this order in Massey, Zeisler, and Reeves. Here's Massey, the DH. Infield single in the first. Not too often you see a DH get 2 straight days with an infield single. The lefty awaits the first pitch. Taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Massey with a ton of pine tar on that baby blue bat. The 1-0. Bullseye, 1-1. That bat is so bright blue. It's kind of like Justin Felix's bat. That same shade. Looks color-wise almost like a metal bat. The 1-1. Swung on, slapped the other way, just past the diving glove of Alay Camus into left field for a single. So Craig Massey having himself a good weekend so far. He's quickly 2 for 2, brings up Hank Zeisler. Zeisler tonight ground out an RBI. He's 0 for 1. First pitch to Zeisler is taken for a strike. 0 1. Seems like Scott's taking a little bit off that fastball to find the zone a little bit more. We know at times he can have control issues, but it's not a huge concern. The 0-1 is outside 1-1. Usually he's able to work through it, make the adjustment in between innings. It's just the professional he is. Pretty much been everywhere as well. A ball and a strike, no outs. He nods, sets, and the pitch to Zeisler. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Massey on first. Only 2 stolen bases this year. Takes a small lead over. The pitch. Swung on and foul tipped right back into the mitt for strike 3. So Braden Scott with his second German American Bank strikeout. And I just noticed that over at first base right now is Raymond Gill. So LJ Jones is now playing right field as the first pitch now to TJ Reeves is just inside for a ball. And center field is still Brown. In left is still Krittenberger. So it looks like JT Benson has exited this ball game as he's not in the field. The 1-0 pitch here to Reeves. Swung on, line drive, diving play by J.J. Cruz. This Otters defense just continues to make stellar plays. J.J. Cruz on a sharp liner up the middle, diving towards the second base bag to make the snag. 2 away. And that's a real big out after that leadoff hit earlier. And now 2 away for Zade Richardson. The pitch. Swung on, little looper into right. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding second, heading for third is Massey. They're going to hold him there. It's going to be a 2-out double for Zade Richardson. So now 2 runners in scoring position with 2 away for Brendan Bobo. So with those changes, you really hope that Benson's okay. We know he's been struggling with an ankle issue ever since the last game of the homestand last week, but as well as he's playing, man, you really want that bat in the lineup. So Brendan Bobo awaits the pitch from Scott, and it's taken outside, 1-0. And again, no need to linger on it. Just double checking, it is Ty Krittenberger out in left field still. As the 1-0 pitch misses low, count 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on, little tapper down the first base line, but it bounced foul first near the plate. I guess good news is Benson is in the dugout and is not being currently attended to. I guess that is some good news. Two balls, one strike, 2 outs. The pitch here to Bobo from Scott. Out of the stretch. Misses outside on the fastball, 3-1. So with Raymond Gill's entrance, he will now bat fifth. And talk a bit about him when he steps up to the plate, but offensively he's struggled. Ninth, though, 3-1. Swung on, fouled back. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. We'll have a payoff pitch. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners in scoring position for Florence. Scott looks in. The lefty sets, hands belt high. The pitch. Swung on, line drive up the middle. Fielded by Cruz, but he can't squeeze it. 2 runs are going to score. So a 2 RBI single for Brendan Bobo. Brings in both Massey and Richardson on a soft, looping jam shot of a liner. Up the middle, J.J. Cruz just barely got to it, tried to squeeze it, but couldn't quite get there. And back to just a 1-run lead for Evansville. It's 5-4. And the pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. A ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Here it is to Armani Smith. Swung on, line drive, base hit left field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. It's going to be an easy double. They're going to hold the runner at third in Bobo. So 2 runners once again in scoring position. And 3 straight hits for Florence. And if it wasn't for that spectacular play at second by J.J. Cruz earlier, this might be an even bigger inning. And as Josh Alvear. Here comes Max Peterson. So Max Peterson will come out and talk to the Otters ace. Stirring is happening in the Otters bullpen, but no one up and throwing, just bullpen catcher getting all of his gear on. Alvear doubled in the second, but was stranded 180 feet away at second base. See how he does here. That was one of his very few hits of the year. Again, 154 average coming into today. Scott sets, deals, caught the zone on the front door breaking ball 0-1. And Evansville would really like to get out of this one unscathed. They will let Braden Scott go through some of this traffic. He's proven to this staff that he's able to work through it as the 0-1 pitch. Checked on. Did he go around? He did not. 1-1. Scott has gone over 100 pitches in each of his outings, except for his opening outing, where the pitch count, obviously, for everyone is always a little limited. Count 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 5-4 Otters. The pitch. In there for a strike, 1-2. Florence with 4 hits in the inning. 2 have come across. Standing on second base is Armani Smith. At third is Brendan Bobo. Both teams with 6 hits already. Florence with 3 errors. The pitch. Swung on, high fly ball, deep right field. Under it is Jones. Back at the track, at the wall. See ya. So Josh Alvear with his second homer of the year. This one a 3-run blast to right. That was sent a mile high into the air, and the wind just kept on pushing it. Can I get one? 3-run homer. So 5 in here in this third inning. It's 7-5. Florence in front. The pitch. Inside, 1-0. Again, just one big inning always seems to bite the Otters. The next one way outside 2-0. And still no one up and throwing yet in the bullpen. Now they will start going. The 2-0 now to Eddie Javier Jr. Swung on, fouled back. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. It'll be Ryan Wiltsey up in the pen for Evansville. He's come in, had a lot of long relief appearances this year. The 0-1. Swung on, little chopper back up the middle. That's going to just get past the glove of Alay Camus. Another hit for Florence. 5 straight, 6 in the inning. 7-5 the lead. We're only in the bottom of the third. Hector Nieves. He's officially the 9th hitter of this inning. First pitch. In there, outside for a ball. 1-0. So a ball, no strikes, 2 outs. 2-run lead for Florence here in the bottom half of this third inning. The pitch. Runner goes, swung on, grounded hard to second, fielded by Cruz. Throw to first is in time for the third out. The Yalls bat around and score 5 in the inning. It is 7-5. Florence in front after 3 here on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network. So here now in the top half of the fourth, a 5-run third inning for Florence, and it's 7-5 in favor of the Yalls after Evansville was able to get up in front early. Just a tough inning there as Florence with a 5-run third has put this one now in favor of Florence as Alay Camus will come up to bat. Camus tonight 0 for 1. The first pitch to him is high for a ball, 1-0. Gamelin, after those first 2 innings, settled things down in the third. The pitch, up and away, 2-0. And obviously, the way this one's going, we might end up having a slugfest here in Florence. The 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 2-1 on the changeup. The 2-1. In the dirt, 3-1. Camus will work ahead in the count now. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. On high, fly ball right. Back on it, Bobo. near the track, makes the catch for out number 1. Camus sent that one way up in the air. So Ty Krittenberger stands in. Krittenberger has reached twice. He's walked and reached on an error in the second. He's come around to score both times. First pitch to him. Squares around a bunt, pulls back, and takes a ball 1-0. Second time he's done that so far tonight. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Count 1-1. Gamelin working quickly. He's found himself a rhythm. The 1-1 misses. 2-1. Sometimes all you need guys to do is find a rhythm and get going. The 2-1. Swung on, fouled right back. Count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. You're in the top of the 4th. The pitch. Called strike, 3 on the outer half. 5th strikeout for Sean Gamelin. And brings up Graham Brown, 2 for 2, a 2-run homer and a single. The pitch. Swung on high, pop up right side, tailing well foul. So it's going to be 0-1. Gamelin looks in and out of the long windup, the right-hander kicks and fires. Fouled right back, 0-2. So Gamelin looking for a second straight scoreless inning. We'll see if Braden Scott comes back out. As now the 0-2 pitch to Brown. Swung on high fly ball straight up into the air, and that was going to get into the seats for a souvenir. 0-2 still. So a long game thus far. The 0-2. Swung on, fouled back as well. So a nice battle here from Brown, down in the count with 2 strikes on him. Once again, we'll do it at 0-2. Brown, the right-hander, awaits it. Swung on, once again, fouled back. And this is so frustrating for a pitcher, especially when not only are you throwing a lot of pitches, but been 0-2 for so long, so he's throwing strikes. At least pitches that Brown's willing to take a hack at. 0-2. Swung on, line drive center field, hit hard, and it drops down for a base hit in front of Reeves. So Graham Brown, 3rd hit of the day here in this 4th inning. And it brings up Pavin Parks, who is 2 for 2. Pavin Parks, an RBI single in that 1st inning, was stranded at first in the 2nd inning. Now Graham Brown does have 8 stolen bases. Well, 2 outs, we'll see if they give him the go-ahead. The pitch. At the letters, just missed high, I guess. 1-0. So a ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Here it is. Swung on, high fly ball to center. Medium deep, Reeves under it, and he secures it for out number 3. So the Otters get a hit, but can't score, and they strand 1. We go to the bottom half of the 4-2 lead for Florence, 7-5 here on 96.9 WIIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Here, another runners around you. Anybody hurt from traveling? It's all in good fun. I want you. When you all here. How about a nice round of applause for all the kids that came out here tonight?
First fair.
Back here in Florence, Evansville with a scoreless top half of the 4th. Will be Craig Massey to begin it as Braden Scott still out on the bump for Evansville. Craig Massey 2 for 2, a single and an infield single. See what he does here the third time against Scott. As the first pitch. Misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Scott not seeming to like that one. He's been roughed up here in this one through 3 innings, has given up 7 runs. He's struck out 2, walked 1. The 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. Those things bound to happen over the course of a long season. Outings like this. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up foul down the third base side and into the seats. At this point, you just hope that he can do a good job and make his way out of it. Give the Otters a couple of more innings. 1-2. Swung on, fouled right back again. Count staying at 1-2. But we shall see. He faces Matthews, Eisler, and Reeves, the 3-2 up here in this inning. The next 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. You can tell Scott just frustrated out there on the mound right now. Guy of his caliber, not used to this. Evansville offensively has played well tonight, scoring 5 runs in the first 2 innings. But they now trail by 2, 7-5 here in the bottom half of 4. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, line drive, slicing foul down the left field line. And at bats like this, don't make it any easier. And I'll give it to Florence. They've had good at bats tonight. 2-2. Swung on, grounded up the middle, just past the reaching glove of Scott. Diving stop by Cruz, but not nearly in time to get the Massey out at first base. That is his third infield single in the past 2 nights. So he's 3 for 3 tonight. That brings up Hank Zeisler. Zeisler is 0 for 2. Apparently this lefty-lefty thing, not too big of an issue for Florence. The pitch. Swung on, little looping line drive to second base. Cruz with no trouble makes the out. So 1 away. Traditional baseball wisdom would tell you to stay away from lefty-lefty. Obviously, it's not been too bad tonight. Josh Elvire, 2 for 2 with a 3-run homer. He's a lefty. Craig Massey, 3 for 3. He's a lefty. Brennan Bobo had a 2 RBI single in the third. He's a left-handed hitter. So now TJ Reeves awaits the first pitch and chops it on the ground to short. Taylor made, flipped to second in time, throw to first. Got him for a double play. An ending one. Boy, does Scott need that. We now go to the top half of the fifth. Score still 7-5 in favor of Florence. You're listening on 96.9 WIIR on the Otters Digital Network. So a new pitcher into the ball game here for Florence. Left-handed pitching. Carter Hines, it looks like. Yep, Carter Hines out of Edmond, Oklahoma. 6'3" left-hander is now in as the day is done for Sean Gamelin, and his line has been closed. 4 innings pitched. He gave up 7 hits, 5 runs. To my calculation, just 4 of them were earned. Did have 5 strikeouts and only walked 1. That was the leadoff batter of the game. But we'll see how Carter Hines does here against this Evansville order. He will face 3, 4, and 5, that being L.J. Jones, now Raymond Gill, and J.J. Cruz. Again, Raymond Gill coming in to relieve J.T. Benson in the field. He is now playing first base. L.J. Jones out in right. As the first pitch to Jones is high, count 1 ball, no strikes. Again, the reason unknown for Raymond Gill's appearance here. Just take it as it is, the 1-0 pitch. Taken on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Now the Otters trail by 2. It looked in the beginning like they were firmly in control of this one before that 5-run third. The 1-1 from the lefty and Hines is swung on and grounded sharply to short, picked up by Nieves. High throw, but a nice leap by Zeisler to catch it and then land on the bag for the out. So an interesting 6'3", to say the least. It brings up Raymond Gill, the new first baseman. Raymond Gill, this will be his first at bat of the game. First pitch to him is low, count 1-0. Gill in the last 7 days is 0 for 11. The 1-0. Swung on, lined foul. Count 1-1. You know, I said it last night, but I'm going to repeat it. He had such a good start. The bat is there. It's just, boy, slow in baseball, especially when you're not getting everyday at bats, or some of the hardest things. The 1-0 pitch, up and away, 2-0. Not necessarily physically, but mentally, it has to be one of the worst things to work through in sports. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 2-1. Especially in a slump where not really getting a hit every once in a while, just haven't gotten a hit, period, in quite a minute. The 2-2 pitch here to Gill. Up and away, count full. Well, the good thing is the approach hasn't left him. He's not up there anxious. He's still taking good at bats, putting good swings on it, just hasn't found the result. The 3-2. Swung on, fouled back overhead. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. We are now in our Buffalo Wild Wings 5th inning. After this at bat, I'll tell you about how Buffalo Wild Wings has all-you-can-eat wings and fries Monday through Thursday as the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, a high fly ball to right. Under it is Bobo. Medium deep, makes the catch for the out. And also, it's now including traditional wings at all you can eat. All the wings and fries with your favorite sauce, just $19.99 for boneless and $24.99 for traditional wings. So, get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings Mondays through Thursdays for a limited time. Dine in only. Visit either Evansville location, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. A swinging strike there from J.J. Cruz, who now stands in. He's 0 for 2. Got robbed of a hit by a diving play by Zeisler over at first a couple of innings ago, as the next fouled back 0-2. See how he does here with 2 away. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hines, the lefty, starts his wind and fires the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout for Carter Hines. We now go to the bottom half of the 5th, 7-5 still. Florence in the lead here on the Otters Digital Network, 96.9 WYIR.
Happy 50th birthday to Jeff. Happy birthday to Mark Roy.
Yeah, so Raymond Gill and LJ Jones.
What's his name? Operation Odyssey Outdoors Veterans. And a special shout out to Dial One Security for joining us tonight and being proud sponsor of Hometown Studios. Thank you all for being here.
I'm just saying,
Every time he tells me I'm gonna start, like,
Time for the bottom half of the 5th. Braden Scott back out there. Also back is It's Back at Buffalo Wild Wings. All you can eat wings and fries Monday through Thursday, now including traditional wings. That's right. All the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce, just $19.99 for boneless and $24.99 for traditional wings. So get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings Mondays through Thursdays. Dine in only. Visit either Evansville location, 5405 Pearl Drive, or 715 North Green River Road for details. Boy, I'll tell you what, having that read in the fifth inning is pure evil by my producers. Man, towards the fifth inning, I'm about ready for a snack, and then I have to read about Buffalo Wild Wings. Makes me want all you can eat. The first pitch now to Zayda Richardson is just missing for a ball, 1-0. We'll start to hear some chirping from the Evansville dugout. Can't say I blame them. 1-0 pitch to Richardson now from the left-handed Braden Scott. Is swung on and grounded to third. One hand field by Parks. Toss over to first in time for the out. One away here in this fifth. After that third inning, I tell you what, I think the leash was getting pretty short out there for Scott, and now there's no one up even throwing. There is some stretching going on in the Evansville pen, but no one getting warm yet. Just tells you the trust they have in this guy to work through those innings and give you length, which is something Evansville needs, as Brendan Bobo awaits the first pitch and swings right through it, 0-1. So count no balls, one strike. Takes a strike there at the knees, 0-2. So no balls, two strikes, Bo. Scott out up. Long on grounder, still holds off Scott. It takes it himself for the out. So now Armani Smith. He's 1 for 2, a double and a run scored in the third. He's had himself quite, I'll tell you what. And hopefully he can cool down a little bit here this weekend against Evansville. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed right through the fastball. So count 0-1. Next pitch in there is swung on, laser down the left field line. That's going to get down and roll just into the corner. Cut off by Crittenberger. Throw in, not in time. Sliding feet first is Armani Smith for his second double of the night. Now Josh Elvier. He's 2 for 2, a 3-run blast and a double. That'll help the slugging percentage. LJ Jones playing the warning track and right. The pitch. A little upstairs, ball 1. Otherwise, the infield is playing him to pull. Huge hole up the middle. Cruz playing in shallow right field. Jones now with his heels on the warning track. Goodness. The 1-0. Inside. 2-0. Rest of the outfield is playing deep, but straight up otherwise. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second base for Florence is Smith. Scott sets and deals the 2-0. Elvier pops it up. Sky high. Should be playable on the infield. Camus is under it and makes the catch for the out. So we're through 5, and it's 7-5. Florence in front. We now go to the top half of 6. You're listening on 96.9 WYR and the Otters Digital Network.
The sweet pops. That realization stuck in me. Yeah. Like a string or something. And put their heads in.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what is she doing?
That was insane.
I was like, no, you're on the line.
Carter Hines once again back out there. Here in this sixth inning, he will face the bottom third and Keenan Taylor, Justin Felix, Alay Camus. Keenan Taylor standing in is 1 for 2 today. He got caught stealing back in the third inning. And the first pitch inside had him leaning back 1 0. Hines sitting around high 80s, low 90s with that fastball. 1 0 pitch. That breaker missed inside. There's that 91 mile per hour fastball. 2 0 now. Keenan Taylor ahead in the count. Here it is. Taking that one all the way, but takes a strike on the outer half. That one up at 93. Put some juice into that one. Hines, the 2-1. Swung on and missed, 2-2. That one on the breaking stuff. Hines sets up in his windup. Body fully facing the batter. Straight middle of the rubber is where his feet sit. Agrees, steps back once, kicks, fires the 2-2. Swung on, hit in the air, slicing foul down the right side near the kid zone. Count stays. Tell you what, I mean, there's going to be at least someone over there yelling heads up. They looked like they were surprised. The 2-2. Swung on, line drive, left center field. Tracking it is Reeve. Dives, can't make the catch. Kicked off the heel. It's going to carry him all the way to the wall, and Keenan Taylor with a double. Boy, if TJ Reeves would have made that catch, look out, Sports Center. Goodness. Was up, fully airborne, diving Superman style towards left center field, and it kicked off the heel of his glove. It's Justin Felix now. Same kind of play, if you remember earlier this week, that JT Benson made in right field. But he was tracking it well. Now the first pitch to Felix. Swung on and fouled back into the backstop 0-1. Tell you what, a good defensive baseball team, so fun to watch. Because you never know what they're going to do each and every night. The 0-1 from Hines. Just misses low. 1-1. Hines now working out of the stretch. Begins it with facing his body towards the hitter, and then once he sets, the hands to the belt, side facing the hitter. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to right. Drifting towards the line is Bobo. He is going to make the catch at the warning track. Tacking and getting to third is Taylor. So a productive out there from Justin Felix. And That's all you're really asking him to do in that situation. And boy, that routine fly ball, again, routine fly balls to right tonight are not routine by any stretch of the imagination. As now finally there is some warming up in the Evansville pen. Looks to be Nick McAuliffe as the first pitch to Camus. Swung on, fouled right back, 0-1. Nick McAuliffe, he's looked real good so far this year, so would be a big fan of that move if he were to come in. No balls, one strike, one out. The pitch. Just in there at the knees, 0-2. Evansville's just trying to chip into this 2-run lead a little bit. They've been out hit 10-8 here in this one, and they trail 7-5. The 0-2. Swung on, fouled back, and count stays at 0-2. It's about 5 feet to my left. Don't worry, guys. I'm ready to make a play if needed. Hines looks in, gets the sign from Richardson. And the 0-2 to Alay Camus is swung on, popped high in the air, and drifting back to the seats. So a souvenir collected, and the count staying right where it is. Seven to 5, Florence. Top 6. Runner on third base is Taylor. The 0-2. Down and away, 1-2. Sun beginning to set. 8:34 local time here in Florence. 7:34 back home. The 1-2. Swung on, fly ball to center. Back on it, Reeves. This should score Taylor. Reeves makes the catch. Taylor is running, and he will score easily. So the Otters get one back. It's 7-6 on the sac fly from Alay Camus. Now the top of the order, and Ty Krittenberger stands in. The Otters fighting back. That's for sure. Not going to go down with that one. And the first pitch to Krittenberger. Swung on, fouled back into the screen, 0-1. And the Otters have, seems like their timing's been there, just a little off of it. So many foul balls right back into the netting behind home plate. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. That's usually a telltale sign that, boy, you just missed it. Baseball as the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed, 1-2. Baseball, as much as people want to say it's a game of inches, well, I think football, basketball, those are games of inches. Baseball, a game of mere millimeters. So much can go right and so much can go wrong in half of an inch. The 1-2. Up and away, 2-2. So I would expect to see here in the bottom half of this sixth inning someone new for the Yalls. But we shall see. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Carter Hines, but the Otters do score one. They get one on one hit. No errors, did not leave a runner on. A 1-run lead for Florence. It's 7-6 here on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Alright, today's order for our friend, you can see interviewed by you guys. You can cut and talk. So, can you introduce yourself to everyone? Jim Woods. Pennsylvania, okay. Now, what do you do here for the outfield? Have you ever seen, like, cheer the Dante winning? Because a lot of you guys are, that's distracting, but you can say, yeah.
Braden Scott back on the mound here in the sixth. Not necessarily something I thought I'd see. That's also something you don't see too often. L.J. Jones over in right field. It's the kids zone located near right field. Is playing catch with the kids down the right field line to warm up here in this inning. So, not something you see too often, but I guess that's one way to get the arm loose. And now he'll just toss it as a souvenir. As it'll be Eddie Javier Jr. to lead it off here in this inning. The first pitch from Scott is down and in for a ball, 1-0. And now you'd have to think that Scott's leash, it has to be quite short at this point. 7-6 the score. Florence in front here, bottom of the sixth. The pitch inside 2-0. He's struggled, but he's been effective at times. These past 2 innings, he's shown better stuff. Again, giving length to this Evansville staff is the 2-0. Down and in 3-0. Even during an outing like this, I think is huge. Still up in the bullpen is Nick McAuliffe. 3-0 offering. That one just catching the zone on the outer half. Fastball down to 86 miles an hour, so can definitely tell the fatigue starting to settle into that left arm. 3-1. Just got it on the chain that time, 3-2. There's also warming in the Florence bullpen. We'll give you a look at that when there's a chance. The payoff. Swung on, fouled right back at the plate. We'll do it again in 3-2. Scott looks in. Out of the windup he'll deal. Hands belt high, kicks, fires. Swung on, line drive, one hopper to Pavin at short. At third, I should say, toss across is in time by about a step and a half for out number 1. So good job there from Scott battling back from 3-0. Now it's Hector Nieves. Nieves is 0 for 2. He reached on a hit by pitch in the first inning, the first pitch. Swung on, line drive to left. In on it, Krittenberger makes the catch for the second out. So a second quick out there. Not 2 quick outs as a long battle from Eddie Javier Jr., but a second out, that was just the first pitch. Boy, does that feel nice for Braden Scott as it brings in Craig Massey, who's had himself a 3-for-3 day. Now given, 2 of them are infield singles, but they're singles nonetheless in the scorebook. First pitch to him is in there for a strike, 0-1. 7 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors for Florence. 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors for Evansville, bottom half of 6. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled right back, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Scott, boy, this would be a huge frame if he could get this guy right here. The pitch. Front door breaker that just wasn't quite in the zone. Justin Felix was ready to throw it over to first for out number 3. Really nice front door curveball that just missed up and in. The 1-2. Low, 2-2. time called. Now in the twilight hours of the night here in Florence, Kentucky. Temperature has dropped, but it's the pitch inside 3-2. Almost got him. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The payoff to Massey. Inside, he lost him. So good at bat from Craig Massey. So earlier in this inning, Braden Scott got an account 3-0, came back and got the out, and there Massey got behind 0-2 and eventually drew the walk. As Hank Zeisler steps in. Here it is. Swung on, fouled back. And you would think at this point Nick McAuliffe is ready to be brought in when needed over there in the bullpen. So I think, honestly, this could be Scott's last batter as the next one, and TJ Reeves is a righty. The pitch just missed on the front door breaker. 1-1. That might be the reason he's been kept in for these 3 hitters. Is they like the lefty-lefty matchups, but his top 3 have done damage so far, especially Craig Massey. The 1-1. Runner goes in there for it. Oh, throw down to second is in time for the out. Justin Felix cuts down Craig Massey. That ends the inning and gets Scott out of a jam. We now go to the 7th here in Florence on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Good, so I should be. Oh, no, this is Brendan, right? So I need to see your guys'. That's on me.
There you go. Oh, you said
So Carter Hines' day is done. He went 2 innings, gave up a run, but only on 1. Out 2, did not walk a batter. Right to the new guy, number 14, Will Karsten. Karsten, another one of these huge pitchers out of the pen, 6 feet 7 inches tall. Right-hander out of San Antonio, Texas. I know they say everything is bigger in Texas, but 6'7", goodness. First pitch to Graham Brown is swung on, line drive foul down the left field line. See what Karsten has to offer here for the Otters tonight. The next pitch from the tall right-hander is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Karsten, last year in the MLB Draft Summer League, a .77 ERA in 11 innings pitched. The 1-1. Called a fastball 1-2. Played for JUCO, Iowa Western, and eventually to Dallas Baptist, who for a long time ran the MVC before they moved on as the 1-2 pitch. Down and away, 2-2. The Missouri Valley Conference, obviously the home conference of the University of Evansville Purple Aces, a conference that they won last year, and their way to a massive run as the 2-2 is fouled back. Count stays. To the Super Regional, where they beat in one game eventual champion, the Tennessee Volunteers. That gets closer and closer to 1 year ago today as the men's college baseball tournament is underway. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, base hit right field. Graham Brown is 4 for 4 tonight. 3 singles, a 2-run blast. Now it gives it up for Pavin Parks. And boy, would this be a great time to tie it up or even take the lead with Nick McAuliffe on the bullpen, who has looked so good. Nate Wolgamuth, the closer, has had plenty of rest in between outings. And at times, this bullpen has looked really good. The first pitch now to Parks is swung on and missed, 0-1. But obviously, you still have to manufacture that first one over at first home. But a leadoff single makes it a lot easier. See if Brown maybe even tries to get himself into scoring position. 8 stolen bases on the year. The 0-1, runner goes. It's going to be high. The throw down to second is not in time. Graham Brown, his 9th stolen base of the year. And now the tying run in scoring position with nobody out for Pavin Parks. Top 7, 7-6. The All's in front by a measly 1 run. As the umpire is going to come out and talk to Sayed Richardson and pitcher Will Karsten. So now an even better chance at that run, and Graham Brown at second comes home. The 1-1 pitch here to Parks. In there for a strike on the inner half. 1-2 now. That one on a fastball. Now in the back third of this ball game. Thank you so much for joining me here on 96.9 WYIR, the Otters Digital Network, or if you're watching on the Home Team Network. So many things you could be doing with your Saturday night. Very thankful you're spending it with me and the Otters. The pitch. Swung on, chopped to first, foul. Oh, Billy just dropped it over there. Come on, Billy. First base coach for this Otters team. So a ball, 2 strikes still. Nobody out, runner on second. Karsten sets. Hands chest high. Out of the stretch, the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Pavin Parks goes down swinging. And it's now LJ Jones, who is a 1 for 3. And the first pitch here to Jones. Swung on, chopped right back to the mound. Fielding is Karsten. Throw to first is in time for the out, but the runner does advance to third. So now it's going to need a Raymond Gill base hit to score this runner. Raymond Gill entered in the 5th. Well, he entered earlier than that to replace JT Benson defensively. He played first. LJ Jones moved out to right, and he's 0 for 1. The pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Flew out deep to right in the first at bat. 0-1 pitch. Same pitch, same result, 0-2. So Raymond Gill quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Karsten delivers high. At this point, Florence is going to bring out all of their big boys out of the pen, so he would really love to take advantage of this opportunity. The 1-2 to Gill. Outside, 2-2. Nice stop by Richardson. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Stepping back is Karsten, delivers. Down and away, we'll have a full count. And a payoff pitch. 7-6 the score. Tying run on third. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chopped softly, third base side. It bounces foul. Just inches away. And Gill, he is speedy. He gets down the line fast. Probably would have beat. So Graham Brown will go back to third base. Raymond Gill back to the right-handed box. Karsten at 6'7", a huge looming presence on the mound. Gill with a deep takes his time and steps in. Tying run on third. Awaits the payoff. Outside, ball 4. So now it gives a huge at-bat to J.J. Cruz. J.J. Cruz reached on an error in the first. He's 0 for 3. Got robbed of a hit in the third by Zeisler. Now a huge chance. The first pitch. Swung on, line drive, base right field. That's going to tie the ball game. Rounding second, heading for third is Gill. He's going to get there. They trade places 7-7. J.J. Cruz, a huge single into right to tie the ball game, his 7th RBI of the year, first hit of the night, and now it's Keenan Taylor. Keenan Taylor tonight, 2 for 3. First pitch to him. Caught the outer edge for a strike, 0-1. So the Otters have scored in each of the last 2 innings. Now to have tied it up. The 0-1. Just catches the corner, 0-2. So Keenan quickly behind. The pitch from Karsten. Up and away for a ball, 1-2. Justin Felix on deck. Keenan Taylor awaits the 1-2 pitch. With 2 away, go ahead run on third. Takes down and away, 2-2. So on third is Gill, on first is J.J. Cruz. All knotted up at 7. Top half of 7. Otters with a chance to take the lead. The 2-2. High, 3-2 again. Payoff pitch, 2 away. Go ahead run on third. Top half of 7. Karsten sets. Karsten deals. Swung on high pop up behind the plate. That one is going to become a souvenir. Evansville has been so close on the road, but yet so far 0-7 when batting on the top of innings. A huge chance here to take an advantage in the late stages. 3-2 the count. 2 outs. Taylor awaits the payoff pitch. High ball 4. Bases loaded for Justin Felix. It looks like this might be it for Will Karsten. So Karsten, maybe. Looks like he might stay in this game. He is going to stay in this game. They're going to give Karsten Justin Felix here in this situation. Felix is 0 for 3. Offensively, he hasn't been stellar in 2025, but he does have big pop in that bat when he gets a hold of one. A deep fly out in the 6th. He struck out twice as well. Big chance here. Bases loaded. Tie ball game at 7 apiece in the top of the 7th. And the first pitch to Felix is in there for a strike, 0-1. Karsten trying to work out of it. McAuliffe awaiting in the Otters pen. The 0-1. High, 1-1. And how nice would it be for McAuliffe, who began to warm during that 5-run 3rd inning? How nice would it be for him to come in with a lead? The 1-1. Up and away, ball 2. 2-1. And there's one thing Justin Felix does so well at the plate, it's draw walks. And just have great at-bats. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bases juiced. Tie ball game, top 7. The pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to left. Should be playable. Medium deep, Elvire under it, makes the catch for out number 3. But the Otters tie it up. We now go to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time. 7-7 the score. 6-9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network. So it'll be Nick McAuliffe in to pitch. McAuliffe relieves Braden Scott, who somehow got through 6 innings of work. Did give up 7 runs, 5 of which were in the 3rd, but a valiant effort from the Otters left-hander, and an effort that they really needed to save some arms in the bullpen during a long stretch of playing so many games in such few time. Here comes Hank Zeisler. The first pitch to him is in there for a strike, 0-1 from McAuliffe. McAuliffe has been good. He's shown flashes of being really great this year. As the 0-1 pitch from McCullough is up and away for a ball, 1-1. The rookie right-hander in 3 1/3 innings has only given up 2 hits. He's walked 1, struck out 3. He also has a win on the year. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-2. Both teams with 7 runs and 7 hits. The Alls with 3 errors, Evansville with none. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Nick McCullough, first batter he sees, goes down Fanning. Now TJ Reeves. Reeves today, as the first pitch from McCullough is in there for a strike, 0-1. Reeves 0 for 3. He grunted out, but a run scored in the first. Then a line out and a grounded into a double play in the fourth. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 0-2. Still 2.5 innings to play. Knotted up at 7, though. McCullough, big deep breath, steps back out of the line, the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Second straight for Nick McCullough. Boy, has he looked nasty to start this year. Now Zade Richardson. To recap you, Evansville scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, scoreless in the third, fourth, and fifth, 1 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. That's how they've gotten to their 7 runs. Florence, 2 in the first, 5 in the third. They've been scoreless since. The first pitch into Richardson is just missing for a ball, 1-0. Beginning this ball game, it looked like Evansville was going to be in control for most of it, but Florence fighting back in the first and the third, the 1-0. Swung on, high fly ball, foul, 1-1. But Evansville responding to that fight with some fight of their own in the 6th and the 7th. Finally breaking through to tie it up. A ball, a strike, 2 outs. 7-7 the score, the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to center. Brown under it, medium deep. Makes the catch for the 3rd out. So Nick McCullough works a stress-free 1-2-3 7th inning. We go to the 8th, knotted up at 7 on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network. Alay Camus stands in on the left side. First pitch from the still pitching Will Karsten is in there for a ball, 1-0. So Karsten's still in there after a rough seventh where he gave up the tying run. He'll face 9-1-2, the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. Is warming up in the Florence bullpen though, so can't imagine he'll be in there for a lot of trouble, especially now, the 1-1. Swung on and missed, 1-2. This 9-1-2 more like a 1-2-3 for Evansville, as we've seen this trio of batters be the 1-2-3 earlier this season, it being Camus, Krittenberger, and Brown. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled off, count stays. And Camus, a guy that is kind of like your traditional leadoff hitter. Good bat to ball skill. The 1-2 pitch from Karsten. High, 2-2. Karsten, he's only walked one, and that was Raymond Gill in the seventh, but it just seems like he doesn't have full control of the zone. The 2-2 swung on, fouled back, count stays. He'll get ahead and kind of fall behind, kind of what we saw Braden Scott do during his start today. Again, you never know. 2-2. Swung on, high pop-up, turns into a souvenir. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. The 2-2 to Alay Camus. Swung on, bounced on the ground to second, fielded by Javier Jr. Tossed to first in time for the first out. Now it's Ty Krittenberger. He is 0 for 3, a walk, reached on an error, and he struck out twice. If you're just joining us, we're in the top half of the eighth, knotted up at 7 apiece. First pitch now to Krittenberger. Up and away for a ball, 1-0. Yoles have been held scoreless since that 5-run third frame. The 1-0. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Evansville scored in each of the last two. The 1-1 pitch. That one finds the zone on the breaker. Count 1-2. Play across the league as well. Boomers and Wild Things playing a doubleheader today. In the first one, it was 6-0 Boomers. They were able to win it. Currently in the second game, it's the bottom of the fifth. Washington up 9-0 against Schaumburg. The 1-2 now to Krittenberger. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Krittenberger strikes out. And it is now Graham Brown. In other divisional news, Windy City trying to finally break that losing streak. They are up 4-2 over Lake Erie of all teams in the top of the eighth. First pitch to Graham Brown is inside for a ball, 1-0. Windy City has struggled so hard this year. Just hate to see it as the 1-0 pitch now to Graham Brown. Up and away for a ball, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on and fouled right back into the catcher, count 2-1. Graham Brown 4 for 4 tonight. A 2-run blast, 3 singles, a stolen base. The 2-1. Called a strike on the outer half, 2-2. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Karsten delivers. Swung on and missed. Tied him up for strike 3. So Karsten, after struggling through the 7th, sends him down 1, 2, and 3 in the 8th. We go to the bottom half, 7-7 here on 96.9 WIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Right here with the Jenkins band.
First Saturday this Sunday.
Nick McAuliffe still in the ball game for his second inning of work. 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. See how he does here against Bobo, Smith, and Elvire. Evansville 7, Florence 7. Back and forth seesaw battle here in Florence so far. It's been a fun as the first pitch here to Bobo is swung on and fouled back with the music still playing. Count 0-1. So no balls, a strike, no outs. Bobo stands in on the left side. He had a big 2-run double back in the 3rd to 0-1. In there for a strike, 0-2. That was part of that 5-run 3rd inning for Florence. Things have since calmed down for Evansville. The 0-2 swung on, jam shot foul, staying that way at 0-2. McAuliffe really attacking inside on Bobo. See if he does the same. The 0-2 delivery. Swung on, little grounder to second. Cruz fields, throws, 1 away. Brings up the red hot Armani Smith. He is 2 for 3, 2 doubles tonight. The first pitch to him, swung on and missed. Boy, he took a rip at the breaking ball. 0-1. That breaking pitch was center cut. And Armani Smith took a large hack at it, but came up empty. The 0-1. Swung on, line drive, base hit, left field. Armani Smith with a 3-hit day here tonight. He is now the go-ahead run standing at first. And it's Josh Elvire, who is 2 for 3, a 3-run blast, a double. If Elvire can continue his good day for Florence, hopefully for Evansville, he does not. Is action up in the Evansville pen now? As the first pitch to Elvire is swung on, bounced to third, but it's wide. Griff Hughes up and throwing in the Otters bullpen. Griff Hughes, another one of these high leverage guys that has looked so good in these situations. Bit of a pause in the action. A loose ball from the stands got onto the field from the kid zone. No ball and strike, 1 out. The pitch from McCollum. Runner goes in there for a strike. Throw down from Felix is in time. Armani Smith cut down stealing for the Yalls. We'll see how here against himself. Previously, he went to Oklahoma where he had a 5.62 ERA in 41 games, struck out 67 and 65 and 2/3. See how he does. Top half of the ninth inning. And the first pitch here to Paven Parks is in the dirt. Count now 1 ball, no strikes. What a ball game it's been so far here tonight. The pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Javier Jr. no trouble with it. Throws to first for the first out. You have to imagine that. I mean, we'll see double-barreled action. Currently in the pen, Griff Hughes and Nate Wolgemuth both up and warming. You would think that if it's not a lead for Evansville going to the bottom half, it would be Hughes. If it is, it would be Wolgemuth. First pitch to Jones. Misses 1-0. So a ball, no strikes, 1 out. That one misses outside, 2-0. Jones had a hit back in the first since he is hitless, so 1 for 4. 2-0 from Loads. Swung on and bounced foul. Lodez, last year with Lexington, 4.55 his ERA, 27 and 2/3. Lodez looks in, the right-hander, sets, kicks, fires. Swung on, fouled back, 2-2. LJ takes his time. Jones, such a good, disciplined hitter. Probably the perfect guy you want up right now. If you're Lodez, you would really like to get the first 2 hitters out. He sets, hands belt high, the pitch. Swung on and foul tipped into the mitt for a strike. A slider gets Jones swinging. And now Raymond Gill. Raymond Gill walked in the 7th, was stranded at 3rd. He's also flown out. The pitch. Swung on, chopped foul, third base side, 0-1. Huge spot here for him. Every at bat from here on out is a huge one, offensively or defensively. The 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2. So no ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fully eclipsed in darkness now here in Florence. Right-handed hitter in Raymond Gill stands in. Waving the bat in the air. Awaits the 0-2 from Lodez. Outside ball 1. Tried to get him with that wipeout slider that got LJ Jones. 7-7 the score. Top 9, 2 away. Lodez, the 1-2 to Gill. Outside, ball 2, 2-2. So Deuce is wild here in the 9th as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Count stays. Gill taking his time to step back in. Count 2-2. Lodez steps back, kicks, fires. In the dirt, will have a payoff. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here it is. Swung on, fouled back. What a battle. Raymond Gill not giving up. Fell behind in the count early, battle all the way back. Seems like for both sides these past 2 innings, we've seen that. The 3-2. Outside ball 4. So Raymond Gill works a tough, gutsy walk here in this 9th, and it brings up J.J. Cruz, who tied it up in the 7th. Cruz already today, 1 for 4. He reached on an error in the first, singled home the tying run in the 7th. The pitch is down and away for a ball, 1-0. Now you would expect Lodez to try and attack the zone. The 1-0 pitch just catches the knees for a strike, 1-1. So a ball, a strike, 2 outs. Lodez out of the stretch. Here it is. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Fastball in the inner half. Keenan Taylor on deck. After him would be Justin Felix. The 1-2 pitch to the lefty. Runner goes outside for a ball. Throw down is not in time. Gets into center field, but the runner will not advance. And if Gill had his head up and saw that, he probably would have been on his way, as that ball was into shallow left center. But now Gill in scoring position for J.J. Cruz, who has a 2-2 count on him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second, Raymond Gill. 7-7 ball game. Lodez sets. Lodez fires. Swung on, bounced up the middle. Backhand play by Javier Jr. Throw to first in time for the out. Huge out for Florence. We go to the bottom of the 9th, all knotted up at 7. You're on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
We need your energy. We need your faith. Use your clapping to make some noise. Somebody get this W. Feel free to come up on your dugout and shout out.
Bottom 9 tied at 7. Griff Hughes on the mound here in this one. He has had some big appearances this year. A couple of them in extra innings now. Tie game, bottom of the ninth. And he will face 9-1-2. Javier Jr., Nieves, and Massey, the three due up. Griff Hughes, the big, tall, left-handed pitcher, sets. First pitch to Javier Jr. is just inside for a ball, count 1-0. Griff Hughes is one of the couple of lefties out of this Evansville pen, and really one of these high leverage guys Evansville relies on. The 1-0 is high, 2-0. Doesn't get any more high leverage than this. 2-0 the count. The pitch inside 3-0, so Hughes is quickly behind to Eddie Javier Jr., who, as the 9-hole hitter, you would really like to be the first out of this inning. You would really not like to not give him a free pass. The 3-0. Bullseye, 3-1. So 3 balls, a strike, no outs. 7-7 the score in the bottom of the ninth. Javier Jr., the 9-hole hitter in the leadoff spot here in this ninth inning. Swung on and fouled that back, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Hughes trying to work all the way back. The pitch. In there for strike 3, backdoored him with the curveball. Eddie Javier Jr. goes down looking. Brings up Hector Nieves. Oh, what a big German American Bank strikeout that was. Nieves 0 for 3. Got hit by a pitch, scored all the way back in the first. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Took a real big hack there. The 0-1 now from Hughes. Swung on and missed. Another breaking ball that he was early on, 0-2. Craig Massey on deck. He's had a big day. 3 for 3. 3 singles, a walk. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, popped foul. That will go to the third base seating area. So count staying at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Hughes sets, hands waist high, the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout in a row from Griff Hughes. Just fed Nieves nothing but breaking stuff and got him to swing and miss. Here's Craig Massey. Massey's had a good day. He's had a good series so far through the first 2. And the first pitch to him. Front door breaker finds the zone, 0-1. Hughes really trusting that breaking ball. These Y'alls hitters seeing a lot of spin from the left-hander. The 0-1. Thought about it, didn't go around, it was a bit low, count 1-1. So a ball, a strike, 2 outs. The pitch. Up and in on the fastball, 2-1. Tomorrow it'll be A matinee between this team at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. The 2-1. Low 3-1. Hank Zeisler, who's on deck, he is 0 for 4. Massey just trying to extend this inning for him. Score knotted up at 7 here in the bottom of the ninth. 2 away, nobody on for Florence. Hughes sets. Hughes fires. Swung on, high fly ball to center. Under it is Brown, medium deep, makes the catch for out number 3. So we'll go to extras here in Florence, Kentucky. 7-7 the score here on 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Runner starts at second. Runner.
So how do I put a runner on second?
Be the last guy up. So, plus it'll be Massey will start out on second.
So like,
Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'll put this on. How do I
Free baseball here in Florence, top half of the 10th. It'll be J.J. Cruz standing on second base, Keenan Taylor, Justin Felix, Alay Camus, the 3-2 up. So a commissioner's runner standing on second base. If it were to get to this point, sudden death-wise, just a reminder that the home team would get to pick whether they want to pitch or hit. And then the team that were to hit would start with a runner on first. If the pitching team were to get out of the inning scoreless, they would win. The hitting team has to score to win. But that's if this following inning ends up scoreless, or we're tied at the end of 10. Keenan Taylor stands in. Keenan Taylor, 2 for 3, a double, a single, a walk. And the first pitch to him from Lotus. Outside, ball 1. 1-0. Lotus still out there. Walked a batter, but was not harmed in the top half of the ninth. The 1-0. Inside, 2-0. Jumping out of the way was Taylor. Infield straight up. Well, corners playing in, especially over at first and Zeisler. The 2-0. Swung on, fouled back, 2-1. Maybe expecting a bunt here. Is Zeisler or the Florence Yalls, but Keenan has not shown yet. 2 balls, a strike, no outs. Now exactly at 3 hours on this ball game. The pitch. Inside 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Keenan Taylor reaches via the free pass. And it'll be Justin Felix to stand in. Now with 2 runners on, nobody away here, top 10. With the commissioner's runner, if you're Evansville, you would really like to get at least 2. Yes, you want to go into the bottom half with the lead, and if you do, 8-7, definitely not going to complain. As the first pitch, squaring around is Felix, but he pulls it back to take ball 1. And this Florence team definitely is expecting it, as Justin Felix, a guy that is good at placing down the sacrifice bunt. We'll see if they call it to get the corners playing in and the wheel play on. Squares around, pulls back, ball 2, 2-0. Lotus just trying to find the gear. Otters just giving him a free out with the bunt play. Alay Camus standing on deck, basically signifying the top of the order. 2-0 pitch, squaring around as Felix places that one down, but that one's fouled, 2-1. Top 10, 7-7. 2-1 the count on Felix. Runner on second is Cruz. On first is Keenan Taylor. Lotus sets, looks back towards Cruz. Squaring around is Felix. The pitch. Puts it down. It's going to bounce foul, count 2-2. We'll see if they trust Felix to put it down with 2 strikes. Felix getting the signs from Andy down at third. Stands in on the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Lotus sets. Felix squares around. Reaches forward and strikes out bunting. So a strikeout for Lotus. And Alay Camus is going to stand in. You got to love the faith from Andy McCauley for Justin Felix, but just doesn't quite work out there. Now the first pitch to Alay Camus is up and away for a ball, 1-0. Infield will play at double play depth. Corners are back, but still slightly in. No one holding Taylor at first. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled back, 1-1. The run that Taylor signifies over at first right now does not matter. It will matter if J.J. Cruz comes home, but currently no reason to hold him. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. 2 balls, a strike, and out. 7-7 the score. 2 runners on. Top 10, the pitch. Outside, 3-1 the count. Camus trying to work a walk. Lotus sets. Fires. Outside, ball 4. So bases are going to be loaded here for the top half of this Otters lineup. Ty Krittenberger now stands in. Krittenberger has struck out 3 times tonight. He's also reached on an error, so he's 0 for 4. He walked back in the first to lead off this game. Right-handed batter. Infield in. Middle infield a little bit farther back. Corners away in the pitch. Inside for ball 1. Nowhere to put him for Lotus. Got to throw a strike. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled right back by Krittenberger, 1-1. So Camus on first, Taylor on second, J.J. Cruz at third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 7-7 in extras. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Graham Brown on deck. Krittenberger, a ball, 2 strikes, and out. Here it is. Outside, 2-2. Lotus with a real nice breaking ball there on the outer half that Krittenberger somehow able to spit on. Great take. 2-2. The pitch. Low, ball 3. Payoff. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded, top half of the 10th. 7-7 the score. Nowhere to put him. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Now Graham Brown. He's 4 for 5. A homer, 3 singles, a stolen base. And you'd be hard pressed to find any other Otter in this order you'd rather have up right now. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-1. He was first pitch hunting. Brown did strike out in his last plate appearance in the 8th. The 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2. He's a little behind. Nate Wolgemuth is warming in the Otters bullpen. No one up for Florence. The 0-2. Low, 1-2. Graham Brown locked in. Same with Lotus. Lotus agrees. Sets the 1-2. Swung on, fouled back. Good fight. Go ahead run on third. Bases loaded. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit center field. This will score 1. They're sending Taylor. Throw in is not in time. 2-run single for Graham Brown. 9-7 the Otters lead. Runner on second is Alay Camus, and now it's Paven Parks. Pitching coach out to talk to Lotus. Boy, Graham Brown, what a night. 5 hits, 4 RBI. The go-ahead 2-run single in the 10th, a 2-run blast in the 2nd, and the reigning Frontier League Player of the Week does it again. So now you would imagine we'll see Nate Wolgemuth in the bottom half of the 10th. Nine to 7, Otters in front. Paven Parks awaits the first pitch. Swung on and missed on the backdoor slider, 0-1. So Evansville attacking the first pitch here against Lotus. So as of now, Lotus will be in line for the loss. The 0-1. Swung on, popped up, should be playable for the third baseman, and Smith makes the catch for out number 3. But a huge 2-out, 2-run single for Graham Brown, and the Otters lead it 9-7, going to the bottom half of 10. We'll be right back here on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network. So it'll be Nate Wolgemuth to try and shut things down here against the Yawls. Wolgemuth has 3 saves on the year. Bottom 10, you will face Hank Zeisler, TJ Reeves, Zade Richardson. The first pitch here to Zeisler is in there for a strike on the fastball at 93 miles an hour. Pinch running at second is Sam Morris. Tying run at the plate in Zeisler. The 0-1 pitch from Wolgemuth. Swung on, high bouncer to first. Charging his Gill. Fields falls down, flips to first. Not in time. So now runners on the corners, and the go-ahead run will now come to the plate. And here comes Andy McCauley to try and argue this call. As of now, it stands as an infield hit, which will be the 12th hit. Andy will go back now to the first base side. Now it's TJ Reeves. He sent one to the moon and back yesterday. 3 homers on the year. The pitch. Inside. 1-0. Run on third, doesn't necessarily matter. Just get an out here. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-1. It's that run on first that you really don't want to come around. And Reeves, obviously, the winning run at the plate. At the corners, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fought a foul, 1-2. Wolgemuth put some juice on that one. 94 miles an hour on the fastball. 9-7 Otters lead bottom 10. Wolgemuth, a deep breath. Sets. Hands belt high. The pitch. Outside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Wolgemuth agrees with Felix. The stretch. Here it is. Runner goes. Swung on, line drive. Base hit left field. This will score 1. On the steal coming home is Zeisler. The throw in from Camus to the plate is in time. They cut the tying run down at the plate. An RBI double for TJ Reeves, but couldn't quite tie the game as Hank Zeisler cut down on a perfect relay from Crittenberger to Camus. So now Zade Richardson. The first pitch to him. Up and away for a ball, 1-0. So now the tying run at second base. 9-8 the score. The pitch. Down and away for a ball, 2-0. Honestly, a walk here, yes. You put the winning run on base, but then the double play in order to end it. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to be careful to Zade Richardson. 2-0 offering. That one catches the zone. 2-1. So 2 balls, a strike, and out. Wolgemuth sets. Checks back to second to Reeves. The pitch. Outside, lost that one. 3-1. Drama building. Back and forth battle it's been all night. Evansville trying to close the show for their first road win of the year. Florence trying to win a fourth straight. The 3-1. Outside ball 4. And again, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world against Richardson, who has been good this year. Now opened up the double play against Brendan Bobo, who, relatively speaking, hasn't been as good statistically, but in these situations, man, statistics don't matter a lick. Hit a 2 RBI single back in the third, did Bobo. 1 for 4 otherwise. The pitch. Misses inside on the fastball, a ball and no strikes. Wolgemuth, a couple of long, deep breaths, sets, looks back to second, fires. Swung on and missed, blew it by him, 1-1. On deck, Armani Smith, who statistically is the best hitter for this Y'all's team. And he's also had a 3 for 4 day. The 1-1. Swung on and missed, pulled the string on that one, 1-2. A ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on second, Reeves. Time, the go-ahead run at first is Richardson. The pitch. Cold strike, 3.5 on the fastball. 95 miles an hour. And here we go. Armani Smith, 3 for 4 on the day. Coming into the day, 360 the batting average, 2 homers, 8 ribbies. Had his 5th double of the year earlier, followed by a 6th. And the first pitch to Armani Smith. Wolgemuth sets. Wolgemuth fires. Bullseye. 0-1. 96 miles an hour on the fastball. Goodness. Someone ticked Nate Wolgemuth off. No balls to strike, 2 outs. Here it is. Outside. 1-1. And if you're the Y'alls right now, I don't know who else you'd want at the plate. Maybe TJ Reeves in this situation, but he already delivered. Smith has just been so good. The 1-1. Breaking ball, missed it outside on the slow curve, 2-1. On deck is a pinch hitter. The 2-1. Just misses low. Man, 97. It's the fastest pitch he's thrown all year. 3-1 the count. That's the fastest pitch I've seen since we saw Sam Coonrod, former big leaguer. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Wolgemuth sets, waits to the end of the pitch clock, fires. Called a strike on the outer half. 3-1, and I think Wolgemuth might have gotten a bit lucky on that. I guess the umpire likes drama. We won't complain. Full count. 2 outs. Bottom of the 10th. 1-run ball game. Wolgemuth sets. The pitch to Armani Smith. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 97 to end it. An extra innings win for the Otters to end this 4-game skid. We will come back with the Papa John's post-game show here on 96.9 WIR and the Otters Digital Network. Back here for the Papa John's post-game show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters post-game show, available every game night, 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and the Home Team Network, along now with the 96.9 WYIR. A massive win for Evansville here in extra innings, 9-8, the final in 10. Nate Wolgemuth coming in, slamming the door in the bottom of the 10th for the win. He ended it with some drama. 3-2 the count to Armani Smith, and then a 97-mile-per-hour fastball to blow it by him for the strikeout. Nate Wolgemuth will end up with the win. Also a huge inning in relief for Griff Hughes. Offensively, it was Graham Brown all day. 4 RBI for him, a 5-hit day, 2-run homer in the second, the go-ahead 2 RBI single in the 10th that eventually was the game winner. Evansville finally getting that goose egg out of the road win column. They are now 1-7 on the road, and they end this 4-game skid that they were on. Tough luck loss for Jet Lotus, who gave up that go-ahead single to Graham Brown. Let's talk about a gutsy performance from Braden Scott. Braden Scott went 6 innings, gave up 10 hits, 7 runs, only struck out 2, but again, somehow found a way to get through 6 innings and just looked so good doing it. He was composed during that 5-run third and somehow was able to stay in there mentally and compete night in or batter in, batter out. Then the bullpen comes in and shoves. Nick McCullough, 2 strong innings in the 7th and the 8th. Griff Hughes in the 9th was huge. 2 strikeouts for him. And then Nate Wolgemuth. Yes, a run scored, but and a huge relay as well from Crittenberger to Camus to cut down the tying run at the plate. And then 2 straight strikeouts to end the day. Just a great win tomorrow. The matinee contest between these 2 teams. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central Time. Right back here in Florence, Kentucky. You can listen again here on the Otters Digital Network and 96.9 WYIR. Thank you so much for tuning in. And tomorrow, hopefully, the Otters will look for another series win, this time against Florence, as Evansville improves now to 8-11. Florence down to 7-10. So thank you so much for listening. I'm Raul Angel here with you, and as always, have a good night.